Welcome back. I'm joined by not one, but two winners.
Oh, well, I'm back to my job, my day job here of interviewing people after they win their big award. John, what did you win the award for?
I won for, I think, Best Cultural Documentary, along with another film. I can't remember the title of that one because it's not that important compared to the one that I made. But
Really?
anyway,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I made Heroes on Deck: World War II on Lake Michigan, narrated by Bill Curtis.
Well, you can't go wrong with Bill Curtis's voice. That is the voice, right?
He was on my bucket list. We're showing it around the country now in theaters, and every time that voice comes out of the speakers, literally people they sit up because that's like. Remember when Robert Stack did that terrible show on NBC called Unsolved Mysteries? It's like it was a bunch of hokum, but when Robert Stack spoke, you're like, wait a minute, I better worry about this. So Bill Curtis added that gravitas to our film. And it's also, he knew the story very well, and it was funded by Captain Dave Truitt of the Chicago Marine Heritage Society, who knew the story better than we did, and we're just so grateful to give this award to Dave, really.
You know what's interesting to me, and Steph, we were just talking. You were here, and 20 years ago you won some awards because you are Chicagoan, and then you moved to the West Coast and blah blah blah, win awards, do whatever, make movies, and then you come back,
stay in the sun,
and you get back and you immediately win another award.
Well, I'm pretty happy about that. I won years ago for Wild Chicago, which my partner on this film, Harvey Moshman, my co-executive producer, yes.
Come on in.
He
His daughter was trying to get him on here earlier because they were the group of women that had the empowerment story, and they were nominated for that. And this is her dad, and she was talking about her dad who'd win, 400 Emmys, and he was up against that.
By the way, a couple of years ago, we were thinking that we should petition the Academy to rename the Emmy the Moshman.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's won so many. But honestly, Harvey's the reason the film got made, because Harvey's also a really good diver, and he knew this story about the planes in the bottom of the lake. And he was diving and supervising the shooting of them, and he talked me into doing this, and I'm so glad he did, because we made a great little movie, and people around the country are loving it. I'm showing this in Bend, Oregon, Akron, Ohio,
Branson, Missouri.
Cincinnati, Branson, Missouri.
People don't know this story. I mean, I'm aware of the story. People do not know that they had aircraft carriers, that they had ships out there, and that they were training pilots on Lake Michigan. It's a crazy story that was amazing and wonderful, and I'm so glad that you brought this story to the big screen so people could see it.
Yeah, there's virtually no evidence out there today to acknowledge that this took place. Nothing in Navy Pier really to speak of.
Now, how difficult was it to do this? Because you're a diver. I understand what it's like to be a diver, but I mean, to actually go down, to look for the planes, to put the story together, to tell a good tale when you really don't have a lot of evidence.
It took a lot of patience by the salvage team to actually find these targets in the first place, send down an ROV, a camera inside a little submarine, and see what it was. And when they determined what kind of aircraft it was, they would mark it. Years later, when the money was raised, they would go down there and get it. And
there's 120 of them down there.
There's still about 100 left, and they've pulled up 40, and all those are either in restoration or in museums around the country now. So.
Yeah. What is your next project now that you've done this one? Now that you're back in Chicago winning Emmys again, and you still here winning a million Emmys, what is your next interesting project that you're going to bring to the big screen?
Well, he's got one and I've got one. I am going to make the dramatic version of Johnny Carson's life. Really? Yeah, called Carson the Magnificent, inspired by the Bill Zamy book of the same title, which is unpublished. But I have a whole lot of contenders for that in LA. A 6-hour miniseries a la OJ, but not OJ, about Johnny Carson and his life. Harvey, want to know?
That would be fantastic.
I make a travel series called Wild Travels, which is seen on public television, and will be in our 3rd season by the end of next year.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, I could talk to these guys forever because they have got so much history and so many interesting things to talk about. But you know what? We got to move on, and you're going to see them back here again next year. I just have a feeling that every year they're going to be here, and pretty soon they'll be doing Stephanie and my job because they're going to be such sofa frequent guests. Is that about right?
On our couch.
Thank you very much, and I hope you're still single next year. We'll talk.
We're going to make a movie about them. All right. Thank you. We'll be right back after this.